That was dope. Both of you had it.
That's right.
I liked
We
that
were
a lot.
practicing. We were practicing without you.
We were brewing with company.
We were brewing with company, without no, I'm just playing.
We were brewing with the company of brewing.
There we go.
We are the talk show / podcast, or whatever the hell you want to call it. We're a couple of average Joes. Drink a cup of Joe. We talk about pop culture and video games. And it's Xbox month for us, I guess, because that's all we want to talk about. On March 11th, IGN reported that Xbox is reporting to set a 2027 next-gen release, 2027. And for those of you who aren't keeping track, we are in the year of our Lord 2025. So that's a year and a half away. And then a Xbox branded gaming handheld due out later in 2025, later this year, potentially. I want to start with the handheld first.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that's easily the one that we might go back and forth on. Because I'm going back and forth myself on it, to be honest. Do you guys want a quote-unquote Xbox handheld?
If I'm just gonna, and sorry if I just cut you off, my bad.
No, go ahead.
If like just off the first thought, no, I don't. I don't want an Xbox handheld. I don't, because I mean, I feel like I can play anything on Xbox on my PC, which I can't think of. I'm trying to think of an Xbox game that I would want to play like if I was like, you know, waiting for class to start or at the airport or something like that, you know, on a plane. I'm not thinking of anything that I would want to play mobile, because like anything that's Xbox, like for example, if I wanted to play Halo, there's no way I'd want to play Halo on a handheld with my friends in my own house. I'll just hop on my Xbox, if it's even working anymore. I don't even know. But you know, that was my first thought. You know, but like I don't want to play any multiplayer games on that, and single player games for the most part are already on the Steam, on my PC, or probably even my Steam Deck. So I don't know.
I like it. I feel like I'm always disagreeing with you.
Yeah,
I don't mean to, and like we agree with so much, but the second the camera's rolling, I feel like I just disagree with you, which is not true. But in this situation, I like it. I think this is a good opportunity. I think with PlayStation releasing the Portal, and in my opinion, it sucks. If they came out with a badass handheld, that might be the ticket that saves them. And you can retract the entire video we did last time, where I basically shit on Xbox and said it's done, there's nothing left. But if they came out with a badass handheld, depending on who they would partner with, if they partnered with someone.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, I didn't think about that.
I hate this because I'm going to come at this from two different angles. Number one, in a perfect world, if Xbox created an Xbox exclusive handheld, and then Xbox companies, i.e. Bethesda, for example, started creating exclusive games for this handheld device specifically, I would buy it. I would totally buy it. However, that's not what's happening. I think because the rumor is that they're going to partner with the ROG Ally, Asus, and that basically already what they're doing. The ROG Ally basically is a portable Xbox, and the only thing that pisses me off about this rumor is we already have Xbox handhelds. We already have them. All of us here own a Steam Deck. Our Steam Decks can play Xbox Game Pass if we really wanted it. Basically, my overall point is that I think Xbox is contradicting themselves in every way, shape, or form. Because what was last year, or this last year, what was that advertisement about? This is an Xbox, right? Where they showed your phone, your tablet, your laptop, your fucking, if you have a smart refrigerator, if it has a screen, it's an Xbox. And that was Phil Spencer's like whole ordeal, is that he was not going to build walls, you know, to take away from everybody needs to be playing these games. So now you fast forward to we're making this handheld. Well, dude, all three of us have a Steam Deck. Our Steam Deck not only takes the games that are now approved on Steam, so you were talking about playing Halo in an airport. You can do
Yeah.
that right now. The Halo Master Chief Collection
true.
is on Steam,
I
and
keep
you
forgetting.
can, and I'm pretty sure it's deck verified. So, and it doesn't even have to be. I think it's playable. So you can also mod your Steam Deck to do all kinds of shit.
It's true.
My Steam Deck technically can be a PlayStation Portal too. You can download it and get remote play on that thing. People do it. I personally don't. I love that it can do all these things, but I personally don't because I love separating my PlayStation from my Steam Deck and my laptop. I
Mhm.
like them being all separate from each other in a way that, like, just because it can doesn't mean I should. But if Xbox were to come out with a handheld that was strictly about Xbox and it made games specifically for this device, I would definitely buy that. That's the first time Xbox would do something in years that I would jump on. I think I would be down to do Xbox exclusive. Like, I would love a portably designed Doom game. I think there's something there. Like, if you went back to an 18-bit style, kind of like Warhammer Bolt Gun came out last year,
Mhm.
make a little Doom version of that, and I'm on board, dude, and make it for the handheld. Like, there's ideas that you could spin off and I think would actually make money. But that's not what's happening here. It's a device to play Xbox Game Pass. That's it. And that's something all of us already have right in front of us.
Yeah, for real.
All of us
But
have.
but to kind of jump on that, as we're all Steam Deck owners, how many times have you had your Steam Deck out in public, or even a friend, and they're like, "What the hell's that?" And you're like, "It's a Steam Deck," and they're like, "What's that?" I think that I don't want to say uneducated, but I think they would capture a lot of the market that say only know PlayStation, Xbox. There's a lot of people that don't know anything about the Steam Deck. So I think it would capture that. And I also think that following like the Nintendo kind of path to success, because the Wii kind of bombed. Well, it did well, but it wasn't the greatest console. And then you had the Wii U, which bombed. And
Wii
then
U
they
bombed.
came out. Yeah, then they came out with the Switch, and I think they'd probably go down through a Switch style, kind of dock it, and then that's your Xbox, and then you can plug in full controllers, Xbox controllers. And that's the way I think they would go with it.
That's actually a good point. I mean, yeah. Yeah, I mean, even to this day, I think I was in a meeting and I made a joke and I mentioned Steam, and there was people there who weren't even like they were close to my age. Well, actually, probably a little bit older, maybe like 10 years older. Like they were 45 at the most, right? Uh, I'm not 35, by the way. And not yet. But like they would ask, they're like, "What the hell is Steam?" But if you would say, you know, I have an Xbox handheld type of thing, they'd know exactly what that is. So yeah, that is an interesting way of looking at things. I like that.
I think it could definitely, yeah. I have friends that are not even remotely into gaming like I am. They're casual gamers. They play Call of Duty, Madden, whatever, right? I think, and I have one friend in particular that definitely just lives in the Xbox ecosystem. So because it has Xbox's name on it, he's just, I'll use the word uneducated. He's uneducated in this field. Not because he's a dumbass. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying, like, if you're not into this as much as we are and you don't pay attention to the overall ecosystem of how gaming works, then
Mhm.
yeah, you would see Xbox brand on something and they'd be like, I guarantee he'd be like, "Oh, that's going to be way better than what you have." And I'm like, "No, you don't understand. The Steam Deck does what this does already
And
and
better.
more."
More.
Yeah.
Like, and there's something to be said that the ROG Ally, which already exists and basically is an Xbox supported platform because it has Windows, it's a Microsoft supported platform. It has a better screen. I think it's got a more powerful GPU, but I think it's outsold by the Steam Deck because you cannot beat Steam iOS. You just
No, you
can't
cannot.
beat it. There is something about Steam iOS. It's the most compatible. It's user friendly, and then at the end of the day, in terms of their customers, Steam is more supported than I would say any other gaming platform to exist. They
100%.
have they're like, "Oh, welcome to our freaking Arbor Day sale, 60% off," and you're like,
You're like, What?
There's random dev sales, dude. Like I think it was Arcane Austin had a sale. A company that doesn't exist anymore had a sale on Steam, and it was
Yeah,
like,
not
oh,
that
here's Prey for $2, and you're like, fuck yeah, I'll buy Prey for $2. So
I mean,
I don't
I
think
literally just bought the Halo Master Chief like while you were talking for $8.
is it on sale right now,
It's on sale for $8,
dude?
and I
As if
immediately bought it.
as if my point cannot be made right as I'm making it, dude. You cannot. Steam is easily the best gaming platform to exist. Now,
100%.
granted, where I exist in the console space, like I'm playing Monster Hunter Wilds right now.
Right.
I'm playing that on my PlayStation because the PC port's not doing hot, dude. It's not doing well. So it's like there are issues in the PC market, but for Xbox to truly separate themselves with a handheld, they'd have to exclusive the crap out of it, dude. And it goes back to our conversation a week ago, where it's like, what would make you buy this thing? Because this thing, if it's partnered with ROG Ally, a ROG Ally right now is $750.
Oh my goodness.
Roughly, right? I haven't checked on it in a while, but
What
it's about $700.
What can it do though? Like
everything that your Steam Deck can do, and your Steam Deck was $399.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So there is a point of what would they have to do, and for me, it's, dude, if you made this thing, you made it exclusive to Xbox, and you reached out to these parties to make games for it, similar to how the PSP was made back in the day, then I think you would absolutely have something. But we know that's not happening for the two reasons. Number one, the everything's an Xbox campaign. So if I can play Xbox on my refrigerator, I don't need it. And then two, to get into our next topic, 2027 rumored for the next Xbox, for the next console.
2027?
So that's the rumor. Obviously, none of this is like crazy confirmed yet. I think there's some inlines that I read the IGN article, and there's just some people that have scattered around, that have talked about it, but it's like a strong rumor. I'm trying to find the source of the rumor. We're obviously not online as much as we'd like to be, but it's just, so if that's the case, then this handheld is null and void to me. It means nothing to me. I'm not going to drop $700, or even if it was $400 to be competitive.
If the next gen console is going to come out a year and a half after that, no, I'm not doing that.
And my Steam Deck already does what this thing does.
Exactly. Do you think that Phil Spencer or maybe not Phil Spencer, but just like, do you think that just like Xbox is just trying shit?
I think it's Microsoft.
They're just trying shit.
I don't think Xbox is what it used to be anymore. I don't think Phil Spencer has much control in Xbox. Microsoft is a $1 billion company, billions of dollars.
Oh, trillions. Right?
Yeah, possibly. You might even correct me on that. We're talking about Microsoft. Bill Gates runs the show in terms of how the money cow that is Windows, and so I don't think they care. Are any of you playing Split Fiction right now?
Yes. Me and the lady just got to got past the first level last week.
We just did the first boss last night, me and my wife, and something that Hazelight does well with Split Fiction, and Split Fiction seems to be like a meta commentary on big companies taking the ideas of creators, milking them for what they're worth, stealing that idea essentially, and then ditching them to the curb when it's not lucrative. And that's kind of the overall commentary that Split Fiction tries to say. And I think that's exactly what Windows is doing. They want Xbox Game Pass subscriptions. That's what they want. They want you to play Xbox on your damn refrigerator, dude, because they want you to be able to play it anywhere. Anything is an Xbox. If you can hook up a controller to it, your phone's an Xbox, your PC's an Xbox, your tablet's an Xbox. Like I think playing that game is, no pun intended, dangerous game, because you're just setting yourself up for failure.
Yeah.
Why would I buy your device when I already have the device you were just bragging about?
I have a phone. I have a PC. I'll just buy your whatever. I'll just purchase your subscription for however long I want to play this game for, and then I'll leave.
Yep.
So,
But
yeah,
here, my other thing is next generation 2027. Am I crazy for thinking that doesn't feel right?
it doesn't feel right, but I think the numbers, the numbers of years add up to the right. It's just like you said. I think you said a couple, actually, actually a little while ago now. But you said not that long ago, that stuck with me. There hasn't really been a generation defining moment of gaming so far right now. And don't get me wrong, there's been heavy hitters. There's been Elden Ring. There's been Baldur's Gate. There's been Red Dead Redemption. No, was that all? That was
No,
all
that's
four.
last gen.
Yeah. There's been games like that. Sure. But like there hasn't been something that's like united people. But then again, we are also in and not to get political or anything, but we're in a state of division in the entire world right now. So that could have some trickling effects into it. Like everyone's attacking art these days, whether they're it's the attacks are warranted or not. Everyone's putting their like what's it called, their 2 cents in. So because like what was it, last generations came out like what 20 when did it come out, like
2013
2013, the
PlayStation
last
4.
generation started in 2013. YouTube has exploded since then, and user like stuff like this, and consumer reviews and all that stuff, and we've really taken over what used to be G4's job, what used to be Game Informer's job, and just the rand, like when we were younger, like in 2000, aging myself, like in 2008 or 2009 or whatever, I waited for my Game Informer um issues to come in to read about whatever game I was interested in. I think Kotaku was around back then. I can't remember, but there was like,
Oh,
yeah, there was like maybe one or two like big video game. I know IGN was around. I want to say, and G4.com and stuff like that. But that's kind of about it. And it wasn't like as as targeted to us. It was just like a bland, hey, this game's about to come out. You'll have fun doing this. Enjoy April 17th. Blah. So I think with all of that, with a lot of information that's been coming around, that's being able to be accessed by the consumer, for player reviews, that has stopped people from buying games that people they probably would have bought, and then because like the game was crap, but they're like, oh wait, a bunch of people who share my same game taste didn't like the game. I'm probably not going to buy it, or I'll buy it when it's on sale, and that tanked the prices. That tanked the profits of that company, and they fired all their people, and then they hired a bunch of everything that's been going on now. So yeah, that's my thoughts. Rambling, but those are my thoughts.
So, do you think that has partly to do with GTA 6? Because
Hmm.
that's, I think, going to be, everyone's going to buy it. And you think about it, because can you get GTA 5 on the PlayStation 3?
yeah. I got my
and
first copy of.
It started on that generation, and then it went to
Yeah.
the next generation and this generation. You're
It
like,
came out in
Yeah.
2013.
you're like,
I
Which
got my first copy when I was
Mhm.
17.
which I think is crazy. You think about that, because if GTA 6 follows the same path, we'll be closer to 2040
oh my goodness.
for
Yeah,
GTA 7.
I don't think they're gonna do GTA 7.
we'll
I
have
don't
like
think so.
4. If they continue a GTA timeline, we'll have like
Mhm.
4 left in our lifetime, probably.
Yeah. Well,
That's
no,
crazy.
I honestly think that they're not gonna do a GTA like 7, because like, I mean, even if it's a success, well, it's gonna be a success, but like, I think that, or at
I
least
think
I don't want to say this, and I don't want to change the topic, whatever, but like, I kind of feel like they should stop after GTA 6.
I would agree.
Like, six entries is pretty good. Well, actually, more than six.
Yeah,
Technically, yeah,
Yeah.
there's like 8 or 9.
Yeah. All the like that's a good stopping point, especially like I don't want them to overstay their well, I don't know if they could ever truly overstay their welcome, but like you can say that Grand Theft Auto Online hasn't reached the heights that it used to hit. Don't get me wrong, it still makes gangbuster money. It still makes money, but let's be honest, a lot of us don't play GTA Online anymore. It's just like
no.
kind of the old like the people who are completely obsessed with it still play it. So it's like uh, maybe you should stop. Maybe you should stop
I-
right there, and maybe you should focus on other IPs. Maybe you should do more in the Red Dead universe, or create something new. I know you guys can. So
I think a new IP would be phenomenal out of Rockstar.
Right.
I kind of want a new IP out of all of the beloved
Yeah.
studios
Mm.
I have. I think a big issue that this generation has, I think this will be, I'm optimistic that this generation will be looked at as like a learning curve generation of
oh,
consoles.
please, that would be amazing.
Well, because I think we're learning that, AAA games take anywhere from 5 to 7 years to make right now. That's the average game development time of anything. So if you take that average and you keep going, that means if each first party studio started on a video game right as the next gen came out, they will have their next gen game ready at the end of their term. Because the average generation of a console is 7 to 8 years, right? 7 to
Right.
9 years time frame. Unless you count the PlayStation 2, which lasted forever. But even then, you're talking 8 years, which we're already slowly approaching. We're approaching 7 years in this lifespan. 2027 would be the 7-year mark to drop a new console, to start a new generation. However, if it were me, I would say we take this generation in stride, let it go longer, because we've had a couple of first party studios make PlayStation games. We have Spider-Man 2, Ratchet and Clank, and I think Returnal. Those are like the only PlayStation exclusives that are PS5 exclusives in this generation. That's it. Until Ghost of Yote comes. And then even then, I'm starting to wonder if Intergalactic is even going to be this generation. And do I want to spend the money on a PlayStation 6 in a year and a half from now? I don't know. So I think the biggest issue is how long games take to develop. But then you look at, I wish PlayStation or Xbox would invest their time in some of these indie studios and giving them money and space to do their own thing and do whatever. But at the same time, I think they do well because they're not under the umbrella of Sony or Microsoft. They do well because they're independent. They do Kickstarter campaigns and they do all these things that will get them on the road. And I think indie gaming is probably going to take the world by storm here in the next few years. But I don't know. I think it's crazy to have a new console in a year and a half from now. I think that's insane. That just doesn't feel right. I don't feel like my PlayStation 5 is on its back end right now, where like the back end of the PS4 felt like a generation defining moment. The PlayStation 4 was defined by its back end. You know, you had your Red Dead Redemption 2 era. I know that's not PlayStation exclusive, but you have Horizon Zero Dawn, you've got The Last of Us Part 2, you've got a good majority of these PlayStation 4 exclusives, or even that generation, had a great back end, even though Xbox One didn't do too great. So I don't feel comfortable with the idea of dropping $600 for a PlayStation 6 right now when I haven't even seen the potential of my PlayStation 5.
Do you think a lot of that was to do with COVID and the fact the supply demand with the PS5? Because it came out, but no one could buy it. You know, so
I think.
it felt.
Go ahead, sir.
No, it just feels like a lot less time because we didn't have access to it.
I would agree with that. The scalping issue is a massive issue that I hope is solved whenever this next generation comes. So
I
I would
didn't-
definitely agree with that.
Yeah, because I didn't get my my PlayStation 5 until I want to say 2022
Yeah,
Mhm.
I didn't get mine until we got back
from the deployment.
in the deployment, because when I was gonna buy it right away. I told my wife, I was like, I've never owned a generational console day one. I've never bought one day one. I want this one day one. And I went to go buy it and it was already gone. I couldn't get one for over a year due to the scalpers and those issues. So COVID could have a part of it. I think for Sony, talking strictly PlayStation, their issue was this idea that they need to invest all of their time and money into live service games. So they made all these studios make a bunch of live service, and
What is going on?
I think that's ruined a lot of things. I think that's why Naughty Dog's so far behind. They were so focused on this Last of Us live studio thing that wasn't it.
Maybe that's what Xbox is planning on. Say you dropped a Xbox handheld in between the release of the PS6 and now, and you said list it for $300-400, and then pray that Sony has some issues like they did, and then you start having people be like, "Well, I'll just pick up the Xbox handheld."
Potentially, but again, that only stems if Xbox decided to make exclusivity for this handheld, which
That's
I
true.
don't believe they're going to. Now, look, they could be wrong. They could come out of nowhere and do exactly what I want them to do, and then I'm in the question of, do I want to buy this Xbox handheld? The Xbox Go, or whatever the hell they're going to call it, right? So, nobody take that name. But I think
And
it would still, it could send the same issue that they're already going to have, which is what we talked about last time, which is what if they made a handheld for Xbox, what would need to come out for the both of you to buy it? Like what would need to come out that both of you are like, ooh, I have to find the income, I have to go out and get this thing.
Elder
This needs
Scrolls
to be in my
6.
gaming library.
It's got to be
Elder Scrolls 6.
yeah, I think handheld gaming. I mean, it's sucking right now, minus the Switch and Steam Deck. But I don't think enough people know about the Steam Deck. And then I think that if Xbox did like a PSP, even with the discs, something like that, I would be an Elder Scrolls 6. I'd be buying that.
And see, I feel like that's not in the cards.
Hmm.
I feel like that's not even remotely in the cards. I think I wouldn't even doubt it if Elder Scrolls 6 isn't even a launch title for the new system in 2027, because we can't get more than a title card in 8 years almost.
I know, right? What generation? What generation is the next one? Is it 9?
I thought it was supposed to be this one, but who knows?
Yeah,
We're
we're
supposed
not
to be
getting
in
Elder
this
Scrolls
generation.
6 until the generation after this upcoming one.
And even then, is it going to be good? Who knows?
Probably not.
We're starting to hit that elongated period of time where our expectations get too high. I think that'll be GTA 6's downfall. Is will it be able to keep up with itself?
I'm just nervous. I'm just nervous with the whole softening of culture, because that's literally the point of GTA is
Yep.
that they mercilessly make fun of everybody.
Yep.
I mean, they made some black jokes that I was kind of like, when I was I'm black, by the way, if no one's figured that out. But
Wait,
like,
you're black?
they made some black jokes in GTA 5, and well, not just GTA 5, but in the entire game series, that sometimes I sit back, I'm like, damn, that was great. That was wild as fuck.
I
But
thought you just
that's
had
the
a
point.
really good filter on.
Right, that's the point. I don't know, but like, I just hear rumors, from some developers that I can't remember their names right now, but they worked at Rockstar, or used to work at Rockstar, and they said that, oh, there are certain demographics that aren't allowed to be made fun of, and you're like, then they have the power over you. If you can't talk about them. Like I don't know. That's a
P-
whole
PC GTA 6.
like that. Come on, that's hilarious. Like that would be so. That's so wrong.
That would make me. I mean, who knows, dude? I think
I hope
what's unfortunate is it'll be successful no matter what.
true.
That's the crazy power that this thing holds.
Grand Theft Auto
Is
has
that if you had a politically correct GTA 6, it's still going to sell millions upon millions of copies. I wouldn't doubt it if it sells any. I predict it sells 60 million copies in its first month. I'm going bold.
60?
I
Oh yeah.
100%.
Okay, yeah. All right, you
Yeah.
say 60? All right, I'm gonna be a little bit more conservative on that. I'm gonna say 42.
Going higher than. Are we talking worldwide?
Worldwide.
Oh,
In its first month. In its first
100
month.
million. 100 million.
You think it tops?
worldwide.
You think it
Yeah.
breaks 100 million?
Yeah, I think it breaks 100 million.
In a month?
Yeah.
Worldwide, I would say, yeah, probably.
I mean, I guess,
60,
dude.
70.
Monster Hunter Wilds, a
Okay.
pretty much Japanese franchise that was only recently westernized, they topped like 9 million copies last
You
week. So
think-
that's impressive.
Do you
Which
think? Oh, go ahead.
which and Monster Hunter Monster Hunter like as an IP isn't anywhere near.
No,
Like everyone's heard
nothing
of
is.
Grand Theft Auto. Everyone,
Yeah.
it's like Michael Jackson. It's like if Michael Jackson put out a terrible song, it would still be a success and it would be on the list. I think that's an interesting thing to think about. Is too much is something being too successful? Could it be a bad thing?
I would say
Because-
so.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, if they don't have to work on story, gameplay, things like that, because they know they're
They
going to
won't.
sell it, which they will, in the sense of they've got the older gamers like us who played Vice City.
Mhm.
You've got the middle age or the middle ground where, GTA 4, was it? Yeah, 4 and 5
San-
came out.
San Andreas, then 4, then 5.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then you've got the newer generation that have grown up with dads, brothers that played those games. So I think, and now on top of that, digital copies are massive now. They weren't when GTA 5 came out. You could literally buy it that night, download it in 20 minutes. Pre-sales, everything. Yeah, worldwide, over 100 million.
100
GTA
million.
5. GTA 5 on the PlayStation 3 was 2 discs. You had to do a download disc and a standard disc, and I think that was
I
like one of the last
forgot
few.
about that.
It was like one of the last few games that you had to do that with.
Mhm.
So was The Last of Us 2, by the way. The Last of Us 2 was a two discer as well. Just
I'm
random
so-
food for thought.
That's interesting. Yeah.
I'm still laughing at the PC GTA 6. Like, instead of going into a brothel, you go to a farmer's market or something like that.
Pay $8 for eggs.
Play $8 for eggs. All right, no, $7 now. $7 now.
Oh, we're going down. We're going down. I think, and I would say too much hype or too much attention, maybe this is the better word, over your IP can cause false success as well.
Yeah.
Because look at Hogwarts Legacy, right? I'm pretty sure all three of us can agree that Hogwarts Legacy was a great game.
Sure. Yeah.
Fantastic.
But what makes it fantastic is I think the three of us are raging Harry Potter fans.
That's true.
Raging Harry Potter fans, right? So that alone, I can admit, is like the majority reason that I think Hogwarts Legacy is a
I bought the
phenomenal
game,
game
yeah.
for me. Yeah. But if you compare it to other games in your life, it doesn't rank that high, I would
No.
assume, unless somebody
No.
here is more in love with it than I think they should be. But it's not the greatest game you ever played, right? A vast majority of why I played the game was to run around Hogwarts and do magic shit
Yeah.
in the world of Harry Potter. It was well built. I would
Mhm.
argue that it is a good game, but it doesn't crack my top 25 in
Yeah.
my life. It may crack my top 50 if I really sat down and thought about it. But like, I think that creates a false sense of success because in 2023, it was the most sold game of that year. It was 32 million copies or higher. So you take that and compare it to Baldur's Gate 3, You got nothing. And even to
Yeah.
add to this, I think Alan Wake 2 was a significantly better game than Hogwarts Legacy. And Alan Wake 2 still hasn't even broke even yet because it just wasn't getting the attention that it needed to. So it creates a false sense. I know plenty of people that don't game that well that bought it because it's a Harry Potter game, straight up.
That's true.
And so that's what GTA is going to go through, except on a global scale that's so massive.
Hitherto, what's the phrase? Hitherto unwarranted or something? I don't know.
You were about to sound profound. But it's
Listen.
He's like, what was that phrase about like the glass being half something? We're like half full, bro. Yeah, thank you.
Hey, listen. I am a knuckle dragging. I don't know. What's the Neanderthal? There you go.
Jesus, man.
Neanderthal from Detroit. All right. Just because I got degrees on my wall, don't mean I'm smart.
This fool couldn't figure out any phrase. He's all, what is it? Do unto others as I don't know. I don't.
No, do for your country what your country can. It doesn't. Oh my god.
Theodore Roosevelt. Do with what you have because you have it. No, that's not it. You know what I'm talking about.
Abraham Lincoln, probably. I don't know.
The moral of the story is, I think if some of you buy that Xbox handheld, let me know how it is. I don't think it's going to be on my shelf, dude. You're going to have to do a wicked trailer drop for this thing for me to even remotely be interested in it. And as for the next generation of consoles, even with PlayStation, not just Xbox, I'm not really. I think the closest thing to a next-gen console I'm going to get is the Switch 2. And even then, I think the Switch 2 is catching up to this generation. So
no, right, bro.
I don't know. I'm not on board.
Oh, okay. Wait, hold on. I guess here's the question then. What if Bethesda has been just playing us this whole time? They're making Elder Scrolls 6 exclusive to the handheld Xbox.
I would think Todd Howard is a dick. And that's the stupidest marketing campaign anybody could have ever done. Like, he's going to come out and be like, 17 times the detail.
You see that? You see that lake there? You can go into that lake.
You can swim in that lake. You're like, I could in Skyrim for the 5th generation as well. I think, yeah, if that was the case, I would be like, Todd Howard, you suck, dude.
Son of a bitch. And swipe my card. You got me.
And then I would be like, what the hell was Starfield?
No, for real, yeah.
What the hell was that?
Yeah.
Did you ever finish playing it? It's not good, man. It really
Starfield?
Isn't. Yeah.
No.
It's not good. I played it through twice, and yeah, it's not. It was almost not worth playing the second time because I wanted to play it as like a person I usually am, and then I wanted to play like as an evil person, and it wasn't even that enjoyable playing as an evil character. I was like, oh, whatever.
It's astonishing that I think Outer Worlds is a better Bethesda game.
Yeah,
than in space
100%.
than Bethesda in space. And Obsidian seems to do that because New Vegas was phenomenal as well with Fallout. It's just I think Bethesda, it falls under the same issue, right? The overhype, and I think this is where Xbox started to crumble, is that their exclusivities started to go downhill. You know what I mean? Arcane Austin just butchered that vampire game that Redfall. They butchered Redfall. That was a hit for Xbox. Shut down Arcane Austin. You had Hi-Fi Rush, which was super great, and won rewards, but just didn't make the cut. And then so they shut down Tango Gameworks, and then the Blizzard acquisition was such a big thing, and now I'm like, all right, well, where's Blizzard?
Where's the thing?
What are we doing right now? Because then you gave me Dragon Age. You give me Dragon Age: The Veilguard, which is now free on PlayStation because of how shitty it did, and you got characters talking about things that I don't even think the side of politics agree with.
No,
want to hear it. Like,
one of my friends is one of those. Even he even he was like, "Bro, this game is ridiculous."
We don't need to be
And I
doing
was like,
this.
I was like, you see where I'm saying it now? Because at first he was like, yeah. I was like, come on.
I don't need my character with 2 horns and does magic
Yeah.
in this different realm of the universe to be like, I'm non-binary. It doesn't matter if I do or do not agree with that. It doesn't matter. That's not what I'm playing Dragon Age. Did you ever play Dragon Age Inquisition? That shit was dark, and people were dying in the first like 45 seconds of that game. So it's like, yeah, this is where I think poor Xbox has just been dealt the bad hand, and their exclusives win in the crapper, and then they've decided to just abandon them entirely. And off we go. Because the only exclusive to Xbox thing that I've played in the last few years that I will soon be able to play on my PlayStation is Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
Damn.
That's the only thing I've put my money towards. And I thought it was great. Don't get me wrong. I actually thoroughly enjoyed the Indiana Jones.
You told me
very good.
You told me to play it.
If you're an Indiana Jones fan, it's very good.
Eventually I will.
Either way, that's me.
That's me.
That's me.
Oh, dude, and we are 3.
We are 3 highly caffeinated people about to go and play whatever game we're about to play. I'm
gonna go play some Monster Hunter Wilds. I'm loving the crap out of it. I'm a new Monster Hunter fan for sure.
Nice. I'm about to finish Kingdom Come Deliverance, and then I'll probably join you on Monster Hunter in like a week or so.
You tell me, dude. You tell me. I'll send the SOS flare your way.
There you go.
Just bear with it, brother. Yeah. Bear with it. I'm gonna actually try to do the Monster Hunter video right now. Actually,
all right.
I'm gonna try to get it done so we can start doing more essays and stuff on the channel again and vibe it back up, man.
Next time we all get together, I think what's it called? We'll be on, right? Last of Us season 2 will have started.
I think it's in April. I'm gonna watch it just specifically so we can talk about it. I'm not. I think I have higher hopes than the first season, because I'm not as attached. I'm far more attached to The Last of Us Part 1 than I am Part 2.
Yeah, Part 2.
So I'm not as disappointed by the idea, and that I don't know. There are some things that piss me off, like, oh, we're bringing spores back. I'm all, why'd you take them away in the first place?
Why take them away?
I think it'll be good, dude. I think there's going to be some parts that are going to drive me up the wall as somebody who loves this universe more than most, but we'll see. But then, yeah, we will definitely talk about it. And if that's all of us, then I'm going to go ahead and just say, stay caffeinated.
Stay caffeinated.
Stay caffeinated.